Oh, I know fake people. I told you I'm gonna hit every last one of you Moors with a death blow. Oh, I know fake people. I told you I'm gonna hit every last one of you Moors with a death blow. Oh, I know fake people. I told you I'm gonna hit every last one of you Moors with a death blow.
He's fraud. You need to show what fraud is, B. You got to present some fraudness with facts. You know how, what I mean by facts, by pulling something up and just showing, how you could just pull things up and just show that it's fraud. It's fraud. This is what I mean by facts. Not just the books itself, not just the books itself, it's just that show me. If you want to call somebody a fraud, then just present the facts. You never speak on them. You say black this all day. I say black, I say white, I say whatever I choose to, because this is Sabir Bey's platform. I'll let you say black. I don't care if somebody say black. I'm fine with somebody saying black. But you as a teacher, you actually supposed to teach them. Did that make sense, RC? If you as a teacher, if I use the black, I'm to bring you into this, and then I'll sit with you, and then you explain it to the people. Does that make sense? I told you before, you don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water. I'm not here to condemn these people. Just like the Christian that came on my feet, I wasn't here to condemn him. I'm talking to him. That's it. I wasn't here to condemn him. But I just about to buy the jewels. Oh, you ready to buy that book? Oh, man. Yo, RC. It's crazy, bro. RC. I was sitting up last night reading this like it was blowing my, and I'm taking that back over Spain with me in Morocco. Buy it. Yes. Who's on my line? I can't really see because the sun.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Islam. I'm Rami Islam Male. How you doing today, brother?
Peace. How you doing?
I'm doing beautiful. It's a holy day.
Oh, I forgot the day was Friday. I travel so much I lost track of time.
No problem. You said you wanted to present some facts, some evidence.
I said facts on facts. Like I don't even can't see you. When I say facts, listen to me. Let me make this clear. When I say facts, I don't mean hiding behind here. I mean to show facts.
Gotcha.
Right. That's what I mean by that. That's all I'm saying because, again, I'm not going for a tick for tack. If anybody wants that, set up a lecture in your city, your state, and your country. Your state. I don't care. But not on this. But when I say facts, you got 5-10 minutes to just go and show. I can't speak for another man. But one thing I can say is that we're disrespecting people or elders who are presenting this information. If Cosmo, I can pick up the phone and call Cosmo Azim, we got it. That's all you got to do. Because what we're doing in social media, and I'm telling y'all this, I've been in this media game for a long time, and y'all just don't get it. I've been in radio, not fake YouTube and Instagram. I know how this man thinks, and I know how this man works, and I know everything that you put out here, they're watching it. And you can never take anything down that you have said. And they will use that against you later on in life. That was my point. So when I say facts, so when we go up against, or let's say courtroom, whatever you at, you can say, well, he did show me this. You follow me? That's what I mean by facts. Not hiding behind here. Because I don't hide behind here. I'm in the open right about now. Okay, that's all I mean. Okay? So that's what I mean by facts. So you can actually show your face if you're on here. I mean, you can show me some facts. We can rock out.
You keep complaining about people wanting 5 minutes of fame, so I thought this would be a good way to show that I'm not interested in fame. It's not about my face or seeing me at all. Let's present the information. Wouldn't that be fair?
Well, listen to me. When I say that, I always say this, and I'm pretty sure everybody can clearly understand what I'm saying about this. Now show me your facts on what we're talking about. And I told y'all before, Those issues, if you have with Taj, whoever, you should deal with Taj as a man and pick up the phone and talk to him. I don't deal, if anybody ever followed me, I don't actually talk about this. I'm over this. I'm beyond this information by about now. But when I see the foolishness on social media, it pisses me off because I see the bigger picture that y'all don't see. And not just here, even when I'm overseas. And they ask me these questions. They ask me these questions about why are people wearing fezzes in the States? Why are people wearing flying the Moroccan flag? These are questions that you probably never stepped your foot in because you know why? But when the pressure comes, you can't handle it. I've been in these places. And I've been in these places, like James Small said, to the point that I risk my life because they seeing me with a fez on. They seeing me do these things, not you. So they're looking at me asking Sabir, because my name is Sabir, period, across the globe, passports and everything. So they're asking me about the people that's wearing the fezzes in the States. And I'm sitting here like, how do I answer this? Is this a trick question? Are they going to try? You know, it's that type of stuff that I'm going through. And when they telling me this, let me help y'all out. Why I'm saying this, and I don't really get into this because I spoke about it when I came back. And this is not a one-shot deal that I've been over there like that. I was building relationships. One of the things they asked me when I was over there, they said, "Why are they flying a French flag?" This is what they asked me. Now I'm traveling through these places, and I'm looking at Africans who is being mistreated. Africans, like darker people, in my journeys on the road, and they being oppressed by that flag that literally, I don't know if you know the history, but you can research it. I'm sitting here going through the deserts, and I'm looking at Africans being beaten their heads by people who's flying a Moroccan flag. It's a French flag, number one, and it's the French protectors. These are not things that I'm going on YouTube looking up. I'm literally in the belly of the beast of this to find out what's going on. So even with Taj, when I had these issues, when I talked to Taj, not an issue with Taj, but when I talk to Taj, I tell Taj this personally on the phone. I literally tell him this on the phone, right? And I explain that to Azim, and I explain that to Cosmo, because they have level heads. You follow me? But I never did it. I never did a video about none of these Moors. Never. The only thing I have said about Moors is that I will bury them with the naysayer. That's all I'm saying, Rami. That's what I'm talking about, because you don't do that in public. You follow me? That's not even a man's code, and to call somebody out their name. You see what I'm saying? That's not me. Hope I made myself clear, brother. But that's all it was. It wasn't, you know. And I'm watching these things, and people hitting me up like I care. That's all. I'm like, dude, I got receipts on what I'm saying. I'm just tired of the gossip. But go ahead, brother Rob.
I wanted to present some facts.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I was.
You hear what I said? Okay.
Yes. This is the Oxford American Dictionary. Scam. Scam is a dishonest scheme, a fraud. That's what it's defined as.
I know what a scam is. That's a scam. I know what it is, but where's the scam that I have done or Taj has done?
I just want to present the evidence. I'll wait till you finish.
No, I'm just saying though, but you said scam, right? Where is the scam that I or Taj has done? That's what I want to know.
Is it okay if I continue?
Sure.
We're going to go to Black's Law Dictionary. We talk about the law, 4th edition. I showed you in the Oxford Dictionary that scam is defined as fraud. Here in the Black's Law Dictionary, I'm going to read the definition of fraud. Page 788. An intentional.
Let me help you out, brother. Let me help you out. We know what that means. I asked you a question, simple. This is not complicated. I know what scam is. Brother, I've been doing this long before you even picked up a dictionary. I said to you, what did I scam and what did Todd scam? That is very simple. It's not complicated. We know what scam is. I could pull out Ballantyne's, Bouvier's, Blackstone's, or whatever. I said go directly into what Taj has scammed and what Sabir Bey have scammed anybody. You follow me? That's all. Let's go to that.
You also said to make sure that we bring facts and evidence. So that's why I was trying to put the facts and the evidence on the table before I go on.
I appreciate it. Just go. This is not about a back and forth. I just told you have a certain time frame. I'm fine with that. Just go to the point of where did Taj And where did Sabir scam somebody at? I can only speak for me. Now I can get Taj on the phone, but I can only speak on Sabir Bey. You follow me? So let me know that part.
I'm speaking about Taj. And with Taj Tariq Bey is not a legitimate, a lawful, and authorized Grand Sheik.
So what?
No worries. Fraud is defined as an intentional perversion of truth for the purpose of inducing another in reliance upon it to part with some valuable thing belonging to him or to surrender a legal right. A false representation of a matter of fact, whether by words or conduct, by false or misleading allegations. So, as I go back to what I said, Taj is not a legitimate Grand Sheik, but he has been promoting himself. Can I finish?
Sure.
He has been promoting himself. He has been conducting lectures. He has been presenting himself as a Grand Sheik. That is in itself fraud.
Okay, let me help you out, brother, because I've known Taj for a long time. And I'm gonna be blunt with you. I don't give a fudge about a Grand Sheik. I'm gonna be real with you. That don't impress me because your Grand Sheik ain't building and creating not a goddamn thing. I'm just being real with you. Nothing. So if you're not in the hedges and the highways to wake people up, what have you produced as a Grand Sheik? What books have you produced? What army have you produced? What economics have you produced? I don't give a 747, brother. And I could have been that years ago. I'm not impressed with that, homie. Where's your diplomat people talking to nations to nations? I don't care. So you coming on a 76-year-old man instead of saying, let me pick up the phone and talk to this 76-year-old man on the phone instead of get on social media, because social media making niggas famous. I'm going to destroy every last one of you. That's why I mean by that. That's what I'm talking about, because Taj is not into social media. I'm not impressed with that bull crap, brother. I don't need titles. You know how many times they ask me to have those titles? I have the greatest title ever, which is Bey. That's on everything and it's in every country. Okay? Phil Valentine gave me the title of the ambassador. You know what, Phil? I told Phil, I don't want it because I don't want the drama. Because niggas got too much jealousy and backbiting and slandering. Instead of being a man and getting on the phone with a person and saying, brother, as an elder, brother, let me tell you. But when Taj come around them, what they would do is want to get a picture with you, brother Taj. That's what Negroes do. So Atakia Bey used to have a saying in Philadelphia called nigger Moors. Niggas with feathers on. You probably don't know her because you wasn't around at that time. Atakia Bey was a Moor that's been in it since the 60s. And she will always call nigger Moors, Moors with feathers on. Okay? So I ain't got time for nobody's bull. But I get upset when I'm looking at Moors attacking an elder that you can. It doesn't matter because you mad because you ain't getting lectures. Create something. And then somebody will bring you out there. You think I care about lectures, bro? I got product. I have stuff. I have videos. I have documentaries. I'm not worried about that. That's why I bring Taj on every documentary that I do. Stop. Produce something for the people. Help. I mean, seriously. And I'm saying this with y'all because one thing I can tell you and that I've learned from Damon Wayans, he said, you produce something good enough, the people will come. That's what he would say. Produce something good enough and the people will come. I'm not here to condemn anybody. If you ever notice that, I can pick up the phone. You heard me on the phone with Cosmo. I call Azim Hopkins Bey. We don't condemn this, man. We are putting this information out in the public, and they're looking at this like, well, we don't know where to go. Is it a religious institution? Is it such and such and such and such? If it wasn't for Taj, not a lot of people wouldn't have law dictionaries, and that's a fact. It's a fact. Come on, y'all, stop. This is insane that's going on with us, man.
Can I speak now?
Sure.
With all due respect, you're entitled to feel how you feel. The topic wasn't about how you. The topic wasn't about how you feel about the title of Grand Sheik and how you feel what Grand Sheiks are doing. The topic on the table is the fraud about Taj Tariq Bey.
That wasn't the topic. That's not the topic, brother. Go read it again. Go read it again.
Please inform. Didn't you say that I was supposed to come on here and explain and present evidence and facts about Taj scamming?
Listen to me.
Is that not what we discussed?
Oh, let me explain it to you again. I'm gonna bring you right back, okay? I said you don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water. You just said to clean it up. Did everybody see the title on there? You don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water. You put the clean one up. So the issue would be, again, if you say Taj is fraud, you pick up the phone and you call him. You don't go against a politician that's committing fraud. You don't go against none of those people. So why come after a 76-year-old man? That was my point. Why? For fame?
No.
That's all I was saying. Why?
It's because so many thousands of Moorish American brothers and sisters have been injured listening to the fraudulent information and paperwork and suggestions and all of these tactics that Taj has been promoting and teaching for the past 25 to 30 years. That's why.
Okay. So you actually
I care
about. You said what you said, right?
Hold on, please, for a moment. I know you may not understand this, and I know on the internet it may seem such a way, but I'm sincere with this. I actually do care about brothers and sisters. I care about uplifting fallen humanity, and I care about having integrity. And so if I can't be integral and say out front in the public, if we can't hold our people accountable, then we can't be talking about anybody else. No, I'm not going to do it behind the scenes. I'm not going to be secret about it. Taj has been speaking for 25 to 30 years. He is not a legitimate Grand Sheikh.
Who cares? You keep throwing this Grand Sheikh.
I care.
Listen.
That's what
okay,
I'm saying.
Then listen, brother. Go back to the title again. And I said, you don't condemn a dirty glass. You put your glass up, right?
And here I am.
No. Listen to me.
Clean glass.
Keep saying that people are being injured by what Taj is doing. It's not Taj that's doing it. Taj is not doing it. You can't blame. That's like you blaming the whole government or United States government for what few has doing inside there. You ain't blaming this government for what they're doing. Why ain't you going out to the government telling what they're doing is wrong?
It's cowardly. It's cowardly to do this, brother. It's cowardly to do this, brother.
No,
Taj
I don't care
has been
what
putting
you
himself forward as a leader. You've been promoting and co-signing him as a leader. Now, when people have been injured, and now when you're asked to be held accountable, now you're saying, "Well, it's not on me." That's not integral, man. We got to be honest with ourselves. Come on now.
If you ever notice, I don't take sides with nobody. Have you noticed that? Have you watched me? I don't take sides with nobody. I said to you what you're doing to an elder, and what people do is make choices in life. I've been in this game over 25, 30, almost about that time. I know what Moors are doing. I know how they act. I know what's going on. I know that they change their name every 3 or 4 months. I know that because something didn't work out for them, they ran and came over here and did this. When that didn't work, they jumped over here, they changed it. I know all of this. I just choose not to talk about it. So if you have an issue, like if I got an issue with a person, right, that goes for the street and all, I go see the people. Most of the times I pick up phones and I talk to the people. Do you know how much stuff I can tell you about a lot of these conscious people? I just don't. I don't, because it doesn't interest me. I know how to make phone calls to people. That's simple. It's not that I'm co-signing him.
Does Taj have a public phone number or a public email or any social media accounts?
Yes, he do. Hold on, let me tell you something. That's all you got to do is go to the House of Reawakening Mining.
That's not Taj.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me repeat this one more time. Let me help you.
Family.
If you did not hear what I just hold up. Let me help you out one more time, brother. If you are trying, I can't give out. That's like
honest,
hold on, let me tell you something, brother.
I don't like people who are insincere. That's what I don't like, man.
Hold up. Let me mute you 1 second. Let me ask you a question. Would anybody want me to publicly give you their number? Let me ask y'all this question without asking permission. That's a total violation. I'm gonna ask y'all, would y'all want me to give somebody's public number to somebody without asking them first?
No, unless it is available on their website or whatever is going on. I'm just trying to understand why is he on here expressing that to Sabir and not finding out how to express that to the person that he should be expressing that to?
Let me say this, please. Let me say this.
Because people are calling for Taj, not calling for them. And what my sister, Dr. Nayela, she said they're making up all of these fake pages. That's what they're doing. They want fame.
Can I just speak for 2 more minutes? I don't have time. I don't have time to listen to this.
I don't either.
All right, well, you just bounce.
Can I finish saying what I need to say?
Everybody that's watching them out.
Can I have the respect? Can I have the respect?
I'm out.
Hold on 1 second, brother. Give me 1 second. I'm a meeting. Let me give him a second. Now go ahead.
Thank you. The topic that we are supposed to be addressing is Taj
Brother, that wasn't the topic.
That's your topic, bro.
That's your topic. If you read the
right.
topic, I said,
well,
let me help you out because you sound like
said,
you look
no,
like you an
it's
intelligent
cool.
person,
It's cool.
right?
It's cool. At this
Listen to
point,
me again.
brother, can I just have my word and then I'll go? Can I just have my last word and I'll go?
Please
Thank
do.
You spoke ill upon billions of Muslims, saying if you go over there and say you'll be a prophet, they'll cut your head off. I think it's very unwise for you to speak like that about Muslims. I think
you wasn't there, bro. This man was in the street, bro.
I'm not asking you to speak, brother. Could you just be quiet while I speak?
But what I'm saying is, have you ever been overseas?
Could you be quiet while I speak?
I'm asking you a question. Have you ever been overseas?
Yes, I've been to Cairo, brother. Yes.
That's
all
it.
right, thank you. So please be quiet. Can I speak?
Okay, but there's different parts, bro.
Please.
Go ahead, bro.
If you are sincere, about uplifting fallen humanity, then I will humbly ask you to tell Taj and to tell anyone else if they are not legitimate grand sheiks to stop using that title.
Bro, we're arguing titles.
May God bless all of you.
Let me ask you this question, bro. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question. Don't run. No. Be a man. See, now you're gonna run. I want to ask him to present the fraud that Sabir did. Because I know Sabir personally. I walked through the streets of Philly personally with this Sabir. He's in the streets. He ain't behind the computer. Show me the fraud. That's very simple. Sabir ain't never showed me no paperwork or give me a pretty picture with a pyramid. Now I know the ones that had, well, I won't mention it, but it wasn't Sabir's. Y'all can't tag him on what other Moors have done.
And that's the thing.
A few moments later.
So the brother that was on earlier, if you saw the video, Brother Rami, who was talking about Taj, why would you take a picture with Taj? I told you about these dudes who want to be photo ops. They want attention. Now, this is the brother that was on early today. That's him. Why would you take a picture with Taj? Oh, y'all thought I ain't got no receipts? How many pictures you seen with people I don't mess with? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you ever saw me take a picture with somebody I don't like. Come on. I'm going to ask you this question again. Right? How many people have you seen Sabir Bey sit up here and do a mother take a picture with? If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you, B. Come on, homie. Oh, no. Oh, I know fake people. I told you I'm going to hit every last one of you Moors with a death blow.
Can I speak now?
Sure.
With all due respect, you're entitled to feel how you feel. The topic wasn't about how you. The topic wasn't about how you feel about the title of Grand Sheik and how you feel what Grand Sheiks are doing. The topic on the table is the fraud about Taj Bey.
That wasn't the topic. That's not the topic, brother. Go read it again. Go read it again.
Please inform. Didn't you say that I was supposed to come on here and explain and present evidence and facts about Taj scamming?
Listen to me.
Is that not what we discussed?
Oh, let me explain it to you again. I'm gonna bring you right back, okay? You said scam, right? Where is the scam that I or Taj has done? That's what I want to know. Not just the books itself, it's just that show me. If you want to call somebody a fraud, then just present the facts. He's fraud. You need to show what fraud is, B. You got to present some fraudness with facts. You know how, what I mean by facts, by pulling something up and just showing.
Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salam El. I thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Now, this is a warning to Sabir Bey and also a message to all true Moorish Americans. But let me speak to Sabir Bey for a moment. When I came on your show, I was respectful. I allowed you to speak. I wasn't interrupting you. My intentions were sincere, to speak about the issues, to bring forth the evidence. I wasn't treated with respect, wasn't treated with the same decency that I was showing. And then afterwards, You got back online after I was gone and was disrespectful, and the death threat thing. I don't, I want to make this clear. I don't take that lightly. If you misspoke, you know what I mean? If that's not what you meant, please correct it. Because if that is, I'm going to take that as what you meant, and I will defend myself. I'm loving and peace. I do not want any violence upon anybody. I am for love and peace, but I will defend myself. This is a warning. I don't want you to approach me in public. I don't want you to contact me further if you don't clarify that death blow statement. And I understand you from Philly. There's a whole lot of murder, and maybe that's just some terminology that is used out there, but it's not meant literal. I'm taking that literal, and I don't appreciate that. So if that's not what you meant, brother, please just correct it. And if you know Sabir and your friend, don't approach me either in the street, because I'm going to think that you're with him and you're trying to inflict bodily harm or death upon me and my family. I'm a peaceful man. I'm a loving man. I'm a God-fearing man. I will defend myself. I hope I'm making myself clear. Now let's address the issue. But before we can even get to the issue, let's address the attempts of deflection. And this is to the true Moorish Americans and the other people that are watching, the general public. I have been critical of our movement, of the Moorish divine and national movement, of the actions and the goings-ons of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and those that have professed to be leaders or quote-unquote grand sheiks or quote-unquote master teachers. I've been critical of their actions because once I started studying, I realized there were some issues going on, namely with the Supreme Grand Council. And when I bring up these criticisms, the people that are involved in the scamming and the fraud and involved in creating all of this confusion and getting true Moorish Americans and the Moorish Science Temple of America mixed up with this whole Moorish sovereign citizen thing, once I start speaking about that, they don't like that. So they try to deflect away from what it is I'm saying because they can't prove what I'm saying to be incorrect based on the facts and evidence. So what they do try to do is attack my character, make it seem as though I'm not being honest or sincere. That's what Sabir was doing with the photo and Taj. How can you be critical and you was cool with Taj? Well, let's put some context to it, okay? That photo was from 2014, 2015 maybe, 7-8 years ago, when in fact I did think Taj was being honest and sincere. I did think he was teaching and following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. But since then, and let's put some receipts on the table. See, this was back in 2015, and this is Rami Salam El there. There's another guy, Rami El Bey, and I'll talk about him in a moment, and Taj Tariq Bey. I taught that class back then. And shortly after that, I started to read more. I started to study more because something wasn't adding up. That's when I came on to the Supreme Grand Council. That's when I started speaking up and challenging all of these people that were calling themselves master teachers and grand sheiks. How come you're not addressing this issue? And when they couldn't give me an honest and sincere answer, when they couldn't address this, then I started to take a step back and separate myself from them. And now here in 2022, I can clearly say and stand on it that what Taj is doing, Taj Tariq Bey, is incorrect. He is being fraudulent. Why? As I said on the program to Sabir directly, because he is not a legitimate grand sheik. And he has been promoting himself, presenting himself, calling himself, addressing, being on DVDs and thousands of videos labeled as grand sheik. And he is not. That is fraud. Plain and simple. And unlike Taj or unlike these other people that may be associated and are afraid and don't have the integrity to be honest, I am honest. And that's why they're attacking me, because they don't want the truth to be seen. But it's too late for that. You made your bed, you must lay in it. Another thing they try to throw out. Well, how can you talk about Taj when you had the hip hop temple, Rami? You was calling yourself a grand sheik, so what about you? See, that's more deflection. But it's cool, we'll address it. Yes, I did try to create. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the footage in.
I had created the International Asiatic Moorish Hip Hop Temple, a subordinate temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The International Asiatic Moorish Hip Hop Temple, a subordinate temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Subordinate temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America in 2013-ish, 2014-ish. And my whole mentality was, it was nobody around me that was up on this information. I couldn't contact anyone. So I said, well, you know, I'm reading this. Okay, it says if you follow the laws and you can create your own customs. Okay, I'm doing everything right. Put out Noble Drew Ali out front. Boom. So I said, I'll make a online temple. You know, one, because I didn't have the funds to get a physical building, and two, I didn't have it was just me. So who will be in the temple but me? So I said, well, that's a waste of time and money. So I said, okay, I can make an online temple and put the necessary information. I had the Quran up there. I had the 101s. I had our charter. I had, the Moorish literature, all the necessary documents that Noble Drew Ali brought. And the whole philosophy was to just inform everybody, and that anybody that wanted to come to the temple could come from wherever you were at. The biggest thing that I understand now more than ever, we got to follow in line with Noble Drew Ali, man, to the T. You know what I mean? So if that is the rules, if that's the law, we got to follow the law. Yeah.
And now you see, that was some years ago. But when I figured out what was wrong, when I figured out I made a mistake, I stopped operating. I stopped calling myself a grand sheik because I was not legitimate. I didn't go through the proper steps and protocols and procedures. I didn't follow the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, which you have to do. And that's okay. See, I'm a man enough to admit the mistake. And I've been honest and sincere about that, which is why they can't find any current videos of me calling myself that. Can you? You can't. And let me address the other one. The whole, where's your tassel? Where's the fez? Here's the fez with the tassel. I can't fit this anymore because when I got this, I didn't have locks. That's how long ago it was. Furthermore, the one I have on now was given to me by someone that I care deeply about, my brother. And I'm very appreciative that he got this for me. So that's the reason I rock it. Furthermore, whether I got a tassel on my fez or no tassel, if I'm not wearing a fez at all, it doesn't change the information, does it? But see, they want to distract away from the facts and the evidence. But we're not going for it anymore. And I got to say much respect to all of the people that have been critical of the movement, inside and outside the movement. I appreciate it because it made me check myself. It made me go back and do my due diligence and find out where I made mistakes at. See, and I'm not just talking it. I brought receipts also. See this here? Alameda County. See that date? 8/23/2013 was presented by Rami Salam El. This document is entitled The Moorish Divine and National Movement of the World Legal Notices. Yes, I was on that hype. I was really about that action. And then when I realized that way was the fraud, that was the scam and stuff, that didn't have anything to do with Noble Drew Ali, guess what? I stopped going that way. And I told, that's not the way we need to go. We need to focus on the Supreme Grand Council. And I've been saying it since 2015. Check the records. Yeah, pull that up. See, people quiet about that. And the reason why I'm passionate about this, and the reason why I care so much about this is because I really was out there like that. And once I realized that I was having an impact on other people's lives, I knew this was serious and I couldn't play around. See, it's not a game to me. Let me put some more things on the record. This is from Laval Petty, May 12th, 2014. You see that? You see at the top? If you don't, it says James T. Vaughn Correctional Center in Delaware. Brother sent me some correspondence. This has been happening. Let me see the other one I wanted to show you. This one is from Brother Mario Bowles, and this is coming from Tennessee. This was July 3rd, 2019. Okay? International Moorish Hip Hop Temple. You see? And even in 2019, I was still getting this. And that's why it was important for me to fall back. That's why I don't speak on it like that, because I want to make sure I get things correct. I want to do things proper because I see that it's some people that need this information. I actually care about those brothers and sisters that's locked behind the wall. I'm not just talking about it. I actually mean what I'm saying. I know it may be hard to understand because it's a lot of other people that are doing this for a hustle, doing this for donations, cash apps. I'm not. That's why you never heard me ask for no donations, ask for no cash apps. This last one I wanted to read. I'm going to read this letter because it's coming from Marvin Broadus in Washington. And this was also from a county jail. Okay? Let's see here. Yeah, county jail, so you can see it. We'll read this letter. It's important. And this was March 21st, 2019. Greetings of peace. I am writing you from Whatcom County Jail. I have been experiencing a lot of resistance from the county jail's deputies in assisting me in procuring Moorish literature. I have funds on my inmate account, but most publishers are the ones I was attempting to purchase literature from, RV Bay Publications. Only accept money orders. Actually, now that I think about it, I didn't get permission from this brother to read the letter in its entirety, so I don't know if I should go forward and read the entire thing, but I do want to read just a little bit more, only because it provides context to what I'm talking about. It says, also, are you willing to accept an institutional check made out to your outfit for payment of products? I'm really trying to learn more about our Moorish heritage. Please at least write me back, letting me know what the deal is. Respectfully, I appreciate a response, if only to learn what your role is in the movement. Thank you for your time and patience. And he actually signed it with his Moorish name, Sabir Bey. And I gotta say, my apologies if this brother, if you are out there and you watch this, I don't believe that I responded to you, and I don't have an excuse. You know, I apologize that I didn't, but an explanation is that my father had passed in 2018, and that time period, 2019, was kind of rough for me. In addition to kind of the central issue of this video about the fraud and the lack of clarity and no one being willing to address the Supreme Grand Council. Where this ties in is because people were starting to ask, hey, how can I buy and how can I support? Hey, and I want to donate funds to the temple. And I was like, well, I don't take any funds. I don't, you can't pay any dues, because I didn't know how does that work. And the Supreme Grand Council would lay that out. And that, again, is why everyone that claims to be these grand sheiks, master teachers, like Taj Tariq Bey, has avoided addressing this issue. And it isn't just coming up with me in 2015. This has been a consistent thing that's been brought up within the Moorish movement. And it's just been unfortunate that it's not been enough focus and a loud enough voice to focus in on this topic and for us to finally address it entirely as a complete organization. Yeah, and I'll even address, because the brother Sabir Bey was bringing in, he was referencing Cosmo L several times. I used to work with that individual as well, and I separated myself from that individual as well. Do you know why? Because I asked him about the Supreme Grand Council as well, and he tried to deflect away. Matter of fact, let's bring the receipt up on the screen. Let me get it for you. Here we go. And if you notice from the top, it's a very vague reference, but he's speaking to me. It's just that individuals like him and others try to avoid addressing me specifically because they don't want to try to give more validity to what I'm saying. But they can't disprove the facts and the evidence of what I'm saying. So that's when they get to trying to question my character and try to say, oh, well, what about this? And try to poke holes in my character so that you won't even listen to the information. But it's not going to work anymore. Continuing, he says, as you see, if the Moorish Science Temple of America has no temples, officials, this is Cosmo L, to Moors knocking the nation. If the Moorish Science Temple of America has no temples, officials, councils, etc., it would still exist lawfully and functionally. That's not the question at all. Continue, that's more deflection. Receive donations, property, land, and in spirit until some Moors woke up and began to do the responsible work and take charge of managing the temporalities of the nation. Temporalities is a term that I've never seen Noble Drew Ali use before. Never mind that, let's continue. And if evil folks are in charge, it's the duty of the righteous to lawfully dispose of such ones. That's very interesting. We'll get back to that. Those who think there needs to be a functional supreme council over all said bodies that exist today, or anything else for what Prophet Noble Drew Ali laid down to be lawful, are incompetent of Moorish American law. Let me repeat that sentence again. He is saying, Cosmo L is saying, those who think there needs to be a functioning Supreme Grand Council, I am one of the ones that's been saying that since 2015, the one that asked Cosmo L, the one that he's addressing without actually specifically addressing me. And he is saying, Cosmo L is saying, those that think there needs to be a functional Supreme Grand Council or anything else for what Prophet Noble Drew Ali laid down to be lawful are incompetent of Moorish American law and or don't know religious, corporate, or Mohammedan law. It would be nice to have such unity. This is what Cosmo L said. And this is why I don't associate. I don't want to have anything to do with that individual because he is doing something that goes against the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. He is another one that is committing what I see is some fraudulent activity. Yes. And you can see with the hand gestures, it seems like he's connected with that Freemasonry stuff. And that has nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's more that secret society stuff in the back room type stuff. This organization, this movement is not about none of that. And all the people that also be doing those hidden hand signs and all of that. This is a message for you also. But as it relates to Cosmo L and this not the Supreme Grand Council, the attack against the Supreme Grand Council, I have a letter that I would like to read. And it's dated October 6, 1995. And it's to Brother Saadi L. Of Temple Number 2 of California. From Brother P. Davis Ill, Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America and Chairman of the Supreme Grand Council. And Brother P. Davis Ill writes, I find your attack upon myself and the Supreme Council to be shocking, and I am giving you the following reasons why, as the Supreme Grand Sheik, disagree with what you did during the last convention of 1995 and my response to your most challenging letter to me. I won't even get into the letter right there. I just wanted to highlight that back in 95, there was Moors, Moorish Americans in this movement that was attacking other Moorish Americans for standing on the Supreme Grand Council, wanting to make sure that we have a functioning Supreme Grand Council. This was happening in 1995. And here in Well, Cosmo, this was in like 2017 or somewhere around there. So almost 20 years later, we have another individual out of California, Cosmo L, that's attacking the Supreme Grand Council that was established by Noble Drew Ali. He is claiming to be a part of this movement, yet he's attacking the founder and what the founder created for this movement. Not my words, not what I believe, not what I feel about it. This is what Noble Drew Ali laid down. And if you disagree, show the proof. But they can't. That's why they keep trying to attack my character. But they can't do that either because I'm sincere. I'm being honest with the people. And that's what they don't like. Matter of fact, let's not just read the letter. Let's roll another clip for you.
The Supreme Grand Council. So the Prophet Noble Drew Ali knew that when he passed off the scene, that he would leave his power in those 7 men, tried and true. Now, according to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, this would be something like a board of directors, the Sheikh board, or what other name could you use?
Executive rulers.
Executive rulers, okay. And that kind of ties in the questionnaire too, executive rulers. But the origin of this Supreme Grand Council was clearly an idea of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself.
Right, that's why very important that members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, members and officers of the Moorish Science Temple of America understand that this is what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali wanted done. Mm-hmm. It's not something that was put together by you and I, for example, or anybody else. Mm-hmm. This proceeds directly from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who was divinely prepared and sent to us from Allah. Mm-hmm. So this was his will. Mm-hmm. He being the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, he said that all authority and power of the Moorish Science Temple of America was vested in the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and those whom he appoints to act as in the supreme body. It was his intent that there be 7 men chosen who tried and true.
Mm-hmm. What would be some of the duties of the Supreme Grand Council as evidenced by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? I mean, as evidenced by the very fact that it had its origin and it had its sitting in 1928.
If we look at the Chicago Defender, for example, they reported on the success of the convention in 1928. And in an interview, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali told a reporter who wrote down what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali told.
And we have copies of that.
Yes, we have a copy of that. That is very similar to the other article that I just quoted from, because there was misunderstanding at that time as to where the seat of power was vested. Mm-hmm. And that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was forced to make changes. I'm sure that most members have read that article because it appeared in the Moorish Guide. It said he was forced to make changes. The Prophet congratulated those who had been loyal and faithful. But he said he had to make changes because there were those who did not understand what the seat of power is vested. The Prophet has caused the following to be published. Well, in a similar vein, this is what he said to the reporter for the Chicago Defender. He said, "It is reported that the Prophet, the supreme head of the Moorish Science Temple of America, will appoint," again that word appoint, "a Supreme Grand Council, of which he will be Supreme Grand Chairman. That it will be the duty of this Supreme Grand Council to regulate all of the affairs and the properties of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and to be the sole judge of what constitutes conduct injurious to the order, peace, welfare, interests of the organization, and to interpret anything that would be at variance with the doctrines of the Moorish Science Temple of America." I'm paraphrasing now. Mm-hmm. But clearly this is what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali wanted done. Mm-hmm. It's what he wanted done, and not what some members of the organization, including myself or you or anyone else.
And as you can see, now this has been around. The Supreme Grand Council issue has been around. It's just that most of these people have been too cowardly or too afraid or ignorant, they didn't know, or they have ulterior motives, they have hidden agendas, they want to create their own outside organization and confuse people and get people to join their organization and their group so they can do their thing, instead of correcting the Moorish Science Temple of America, cleaning up the temple and operating properly the way Noble Drew Ali laid it down and commanded for us to do. But I don't want to just stop there. I got one more receipt I want to put on the record. Just some more evidence. And if anybody disagrees, well, show me the evidence that goes counter to this. And this is coming from the Muqarrabeen file. And this is spelled Muqarrabeen. And this is, the authors of this book are, just to give them the proper credit, Brother R. Edwards L. and Brother J. Barnes Bey. Those are the authors and the co-authors, along with D. Eddington L. as a field researcher, W. R. Edwards L. as a field researcher, and C. Hood Bey as the research consultant. And this was first published in 1996. And so we're scrolling down to page 70. I want you to look this up for yourself, just so you can see for yourself. If you need the link, just jump in the comment section and let me know. I got it for you. It's right there. You can look it up for yourself, so you can verify for yourself. Don't believe what these other people telling you. Get into what it says. And it reads, it should be the desire of any unity effort, Cosmo L, anybody else out there, to reunite the Moorish Americans under the true foundation as established by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and that this can best be accomplished by reestablishing a Supreme Council of the Moorish Divine and National Movement in North America, currently operating under the name Moorish Science Temple of America, Inc. A reestablishment of the Supreme Grand Council, would allow for each of the leaders, the current leaders of the grand bodies, to be apart, each have a single vote of authority. Once established, the Supreme Council would answer all questions concerning religious and national concerns of the organization and its members. That's some clarity for you. But see, these people that have been claiming to be master teachers and grand sheiks, they don't want clarity. They want to keep the confusion going so that they can continue the scam and the fraud. Continuing, it says, it will also establish what is defined or what is and isn't a part of the Prophet's teachings. It'll interpret current laws and policy, enforcing those that are in accordance with or of the Prophet and discarding those of no use. It'll establish customs and practices of said organization and membership. Establish rules, rituals, and practices for the adept chamber and divine ministry. Establish a standard interpretation of certain laws and practices through the movement, as well as a standard practical interpretation of the Moorish holy and divine doctrines. Establish guidelines and standards for those being raised to the level of missionary, adept, sheikh, or divine minister, the same applying to the entitlement of governor, grand governor, etc. of the highest order, like grand sheikh. It would establish the guidelines and standards so that anybody can't just claim to be that. They can't just claim those titles, because those titles are significant. They have a meaning and value to it, and a duty and an obligation that comes with them. And lastly, it'll establish a Moorish American perspective of the Holy Quran of Mecca, praise be to Allah, for the teaching and instruction of the Moorish Americans. And we'll get to that Quran as we close out. Now, this is the evidence in the Muqarrabeen file that was published back in 1996. Tell me, has Taj Tariq Bey spoken on this? What about Sabir Bey? Cosmo L? What about the Trinidadian immigrant that's in Canada that's claiming to be a Grand Sheik and a Moorish American? Has he, or any of these people that claim to be master teachers, claim to be the leaders and all knowledgeable about this, what are they doing in terms of the facts and the evidence as it regards to the Supreme Grand Council? Because it's real. And it's been people that's been calling on us to address this issue as a collective for the organization. It's unfortunate that there have been people within this movement, within the claiming to be within the organization, claiming to be grand sheiks that have had agendas and, you know, motives that are going against the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, that are completely opposite of the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. And that is why there's so much confusion today, and that is why those individuals refuse to address the Supreme Grand Council issue for real. But it's not going to last much longer. Please understand that. As I close, I'm sincere about this. I truly am for the upliftment of fallen humanity, and not just Moorish Americans. I'm talking about all people. And yes, I know that some people seem to think that this is for clout and this is for attention and this is for, I don't care about that. If I did, I would brag about some of the accomplishments that I've done in my life to try to give me more clout. And I don't, specifically because it's not about me. That's exactly the point. And that is why they keep on projecting that towards me, because that's what's in their hearts. That's the real. And if you got a problem with it, show me the evidence otherwise. Address the issue on the table. Don't dip and dodge. Don't try to deflect. Address Taj Tariq Bey not being a legitimate Grand Sheikh. Show the evidence. You can't, because he isn't a legitimate Grand Sheikh. He's been committing fraud. The things that the things that Taj Tariq Bey has been teaching are not the things that Noble Drew Ali taught. They go against the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. And Noble Drew Ali, according to what he said, never mind, I don't even want to tell you. You should look it up for yourself. As I close, and Allah is truly the best of planners. I flipped this open. This was the first page that opened to me on page 313. Praise Allah. This is for the believers. And assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters out there. And it reads, your God is one Allah. As to those who believe not in the hereafter, their hearts refuse to know, and they are arrogant. Undoubtedly, Allah doeth know what they conceal and what they reveal. Verily, he loveth not the arrogant. When it is said to them, what is it that your Lord has revealed? They say, tales of the ancients, that they may bear on the day of judgment their own burdens in full, and also something of the burdens of those without knowledge, whom they misled. Praise Allah. Alas, how grievous the burdens they will bear. That's a message for those who have been misleading others. You know who you are. Please understand, this is not a game. Don't think Allah is winking at you in the things that you're doing wrong just because you haven't received divine punishment for it. You haven't received divine judgment for it. Because trust and believe, we all will be held accountable for our actions at some point. And at that time, it won't be no video, it won't be no spin that you can try to put on Allah to help save you. Or you know, whatever you would like to give the name for our Creator. So I'm warning you. Those that are in this movement, those that are claiming to be Moors and are trying to mislead the people, whether it be Moorish Americans or other people and people in general, I'm asking you humbly, please stop. For your own sake, please stop, because Allah is watching us all and you will be judged accordingly for your actions. And the last thing I say to Sabir, despite the games and the things that you're doing, I'm going to pray for you, because I understand that you're going through some difficult times. I'm asking you humbly as a man, please stop playing games with this. I've only addressed you in one video. Look up the record. You can see it for yourself. And it's only because you tried to lie. This is not a game for me. If you want to do your thing over there, that's cool. I have no objection to anybody doing their own thing, as long as you don't try to mix it up and say this is what Noble Drew Ali taught. This is what Moorish Americans should be doing because this is what Noble Drew Ali taught. I have a problem when you try to claim the title of Grand Sheik and you are not one because you mislead the people. And there's too many people in prison and in jail. Our people been hurting, man. So I'm asking you and Taj and anyone else that's claiming to be a Grand Sheik or any other title and are not, please stop misleading our people. May Allah have mercy on us all and continue to bless us all. Praise be to Allah. Worship only Allah. And last but not least, if nothing else, love instead of hate. That is the key. That is the way. Much love to you and yours. Even to the ones that have hate towards me. Much love to you and your families also. Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. May peace be upon us all. Thank you.
It has nothing to do with the greater good. You ain't helping nobody. You ain't for the Muslims. You ain't for nobody. You're a hazard to everybody. Stop trying to claim us. Like you here for us, you not. This is not what the Prophet was about. The last words in the Quran were, Alaykum dinikum waliyadin. To you be your way, and to me be mine. But I'm not here to defend the sanctity of Islam. That's not what I'm talking about. We are human beings. This space should be all on the same spaceship. We all here together, man. I read these comments on this damn internet, these comment pages, man. People are treating each other so poorly, but people don't know how to disagree even, man. That's the measure of a civilization, brother. Not how well you agree, but how well do you disagree. That's civilized.
Wow.
What world are we leaving to our children? What examples are we leaving to our children?